So I think you're thinking of Toki.
Yeah, Toki. Okay, I'm thinking of Toki.
T-O-K-I, Toki.
Yeah.
Which there was a remake that came out recently. They remade it. Yeah, Toki. So the NES Toki, one, look at this.
I always played the arcade one. Oh, so he's a monkey. Okay.
Yeah, so he's a monkey. The thing is, he was transformed into a monkey. He's a man who was transformed into a monkey.
Okay.
So this one,
this is the best episode ever. I'm so happy about it.
Yeah, I always played the arcade version of this, which is this gameplay, but with better graphics and a background.
Yes.
You know what? We're putting this in the shorts. Do you guys want Tubby Talk just to be about caveman games going forward?
We can. There's a lot to
do a whole
mine.
month of caveman games.
YUNKJunk!
Have you ever thought about caveman and caveman video games? Well, we have. In fact, we're going to spend this entire time talking about caveman video games for no reason. No algorithm, no nothing, just Chris saying, I have an idea.
Yeah, I bet there's more than you think, and when you start listing them out, you're like, oh my God, why are game developers obsessed with caveman, especially in the 90s? But man, it's still on. It's still on.
On like Donkey Kong. So
who's not a caveman?
Who's not a caveman at all? He never even interacts with a caveman.
He should. He's been a Donkey Kong Country game where he runs into prehistoric human.
Donkey Kong versus Flintstones.
He's already ran into Mario, who's a modern day human.
Mm-hmm.
Ish. I don't think Mushroom Kingdom.
He's from the 30s to 90s. I don't know. He's all sorts of things. I mean, he owns a toy factory now. Hey, there's the tie-in. Go play Donkey Kong versus Mario, which is an updated version of one of our favorite games.
Sort of.
Yeah, it's the second iteration.
Yeah, the second.
Yeah, it's an upgraded sequel to the game that I loved as a kid, and then I played this one. I was like, oh, I like the first one better.
Yeah, not Donkey Kong 94.
Not better. I never played this one. I've been playing it now, and I enjoy it.
You're playing it right now?
Yeah, I just realized I'd never played it before. I thought it was Donkey Kong 94.
Yeah, and then Steve was like, "It's a different game." I was like, "Yeah." I thought he knew.
Well, Mario and the Minis, right?
Yeah, it's actually called Mario versus Donkey Kong,
yeah.
but it was the first one where minis existed.
Yeah,
got it.
And you did tell me that before I bought it.
Yeah,
but I was like, I think it's puzzle gameplay, so I still want to play it. But then I was like, oh, you used to be able to do ABC. I looked it up. Oh, it's Donkey Kong 94. Never mind.
But I think I could tie this back. Doesn't Mario have a caveman outfit in his latest outing?
In Mario Odyssey, there is a caveman outfit.
Boom! Can we see a Mario caveman?
Yeah, I remember that.
Well, then I would argue also Mario World takes place in Dinosaur Land, and it's got a lot of caveman thing happening.
Yeah, that's right.
Especially like the animated series had cavemen in it.
Oh yeah, he fought a dinosaur.
Yeah, there's a T-Rex.
Oh yeah.
All right, we got there. We figured out a way to bring it back.
That just makes me want to play Mario Odyssey.
Yeah, that caveman outfit. I forgot all about
All right, perfect. We found a way into video games and caveman totally naturally. That was not forced at all.
No.
And I'm very proud of everyone in this room.
Rolls off the tongue.
So Mario is not a caveman, but we now know that he appeared as one. And that was a very interesting point. Is he technically a caveman when he's in Mario World? If you're in the dinosaur kingdom and you're a man.
No, because he's not living in a cave, and he's wearing his normal modern jumper. But in the animated series, they had the annoying kid who's
Uktar.
Yeah, Uktar. Those are cavemen. Yeah.
So I assume they lived on Dinosaur Island.
Yeah.
In the cartoon.
Dinosaur Land. Yeah.
Dinosaur Land.
But yeah, you think of a caveman video game. I want to know the first one that comes to mind.
Joe and Mac, Caveman Ninjas.
Joe and Mac, Caveman.
Wait, why do you? What is the subtitle you're saying? I just remember Joe and Mac.
So yeah.
You explain it better than I can.
It is. The subtitle is Joe and Mac Caveman Ninja because it's adapted from an arcade game. The name of the arcade game is just Caveman Ninja. Yeah.
There's a new one.
So yeah, they remade it for some reason.
New Joe and Mac Caveman Ninja.
This is the other thing. We could do a whole episode on caveman games that have been remade in the modern era because there have been several of them.
Really?
It's interesting because you brought this up and you're like, yeah, there's so many caveman games. I'm like, I thought of 2 and that's it. So I'm very interested in all these other caveman games I'm forgetting about.
I do distinctly remember Joe and Mac, though. Joe and Mac, for me, was a Super Nintendo experience. But you're saying it was an arcade experience first.
Yeah, and it looked basically the same as the Super Nintendo one. It was just called Caveman Ninja. But it was
the characters
same
were
sprites.
Joe and Mac. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dada East.
Yeah, so you see, it's exactly what you remember from the Super Nintendo. Mm-hmm. It's just in arcade form.
Although, interesting thing about Joe and Mac, did you ever play the Sega Genesis version?
No.
The Sega version, that's the Sega version. You can do wind-up moves. You can't do wind-up moves in the Super Nintendo version.
Yeah, because it's in the arcade version.
I was shocked the first time I saw the wind-up move because I was like, that's not, you can't do that in the SNES, which makes it like a very, very challenging experience until you, of course, you get the stone wheel.
Yes. So this game, there's a lot like it's cartoony graphics. You're going around this jungly sort of environment. There's dinosaurs you're killing and evil cavemen. There's a lot of games just like that.
What do you mean?
Well, so do you have a second caveman game in mind, or is this like the only one?
Joe and Mac 2
Oh, okay.
was a very, very interesting sequel. In that I think you could ride on dinosaurs. But that also makes me think...
Was that also in the arcade version of the first one?
Lost in the Tropics right there.
Oh, yeah, Lost in the Tropics.
Yeah, and it had some RPG elements.
They made the dinosaurs look a little more realistic in this one.
I think you could get armor upgrades in this one, too, and wear, like, prehistoric armor.
So
but I
don't
played
have
the
feathers.
hell out of this game as a kid. Yeah, there you go. See, you can buy things.
Mm-hmm. Oh, there's a town.
Yeah, you can go to the store. There's an old wise man. The melon tasted great.
It's good to know. So I had forgotten there was a sequel to this. So that's just another one, man.
Yeah. Another one. I had no idea they were ninjas, but now I kind of get it. I mean, I could go on a diatribe about this game. This game has a crazy hard ending where you beat the final dinosaur, and these are like giant dinosaurs, and they all have like ball necks because it was just a way to cheat the system, kind of.
Yeah, animations.
Of animation, yeah. But then that last dinosaur falls down, opens his mouth. You got to go inside. And that level inside the dinosaur is so hard. And then they ghouls and ghosts you.
Yeah.
There's a devil in there.
Oh, man.
And when you kill that devil, it turns into a blue devil, and you got to beat that one. And I lost to that blue devil so many times. It hurt. It hurt bad.
Those games with like limited continues, like you got 3 before you had the game over.
Yep.
Crazy is I think there are like 5 games where you go as a caveman inside a dinosaur.
What?
Again, yeah, you need to start getting into these games.
All right, so I'm going to get into the next one, which is the obvious one, mascot platformer, Bonk. Bonk's Adventure.
I love Bonk.
Bonk was great. Bonk was a Hudson game, I believe, made for NEC
Yeah.
for the TurboGrafx, and he was ostensibly the mascot character. But Bonk's Adventure, he was a caveman who had a giant head. That was the whole deal.
And Bonk was also, this is the TurboGrafx 16. He was the mascot.
Yep.
For TurboGrafx, right?
He was.
So,
He was the answer to like Mario or Sonic. Yeah.
which is interesting. I mean, I love the Bonk games. The Bonk game had an interesting aspect to it. Obviously, just the way you played, it's kind of like a platformer, but if you hit certain buttons or hit certain things, you become a different version of Bonk.
Yeah, every time he eats meat, he gets angrier and meaner.
Really?
Yeah, and so in this first version, he eats meat, and if he hits the ground with his head, he freezes everything. It turns to stone, but only briefly. But you get the big meat, and you become Invincible Bonk, who can just touch things and kill them. And eventually that runs off, and then, you know, he just has the... but yeah,
Feed yourself with
meat makes him eviler and meaner for some reason, and he gets stitches on his head. It's
Yeah.
not entirely sure why. The game's cool. Like, it's got a weird sense of style that's really neat.
But also like those weird flips that you can do, and that you can land right on your head,
Mm-hmm.
and it does different things.
And they changed like the jump, it affects the jump physics too, which is really cool. I need to play
there's a
this game
Super
now.
Bonk too, isn't there?
Yes.
But that on Super NES? Was it
I
also?
believe it was a late Super Nintendo game, and it was like a big deal. It was like, oh man, like how do you have a mascot for a different console on the Super Nintendo? But by that point, like the PC Engine / TurboGrafx weren't a thing.
It's defunct.
Yeah.
That's how you get one on another platform.
So did it go Bonk on NES, Super Bonk on Super Nintendo, and then TurboGrafx Bonk?
No,
Don't know that there was an
yeah,
NES
it was
one.
initially a TurboGrafx game.
Yeah, it was PC Engine is what they called the TurboGrafx in Japan, and it was originally on that. And there's an arcade version of that too, which is kind of more like a score run sort of game.
This is the one I remember.
Oh, interesting.
And that,
this was
and
Super
you could
Bonk.
be small and stuff, and there were candies and all sorts of different things.
Yeah, I've never played this one.
No, this looks cool.
Yeah, it is. It's a lot of fun. I remember playing this on like an emulator or something.
Here's a meat.
Yeah, now he's angry, but he's still little.
But still little. He's good. Yeah, and he can still turn things to stone with his headbutt.
I did not know it was the meat that did that.
Yep.
So wait a minute. In Bonk, do you also go inside a dinosaur?
You do. In fact, I think it's the second level is inside of the first Bonk's Adventure. For sure. In fact, Dylan, if you could look up Bonk's Adventure.
I remember this mode, this crazy
second
mode,
level.
where he's like angry. Yeah,
Whoa,
this one.
he's like
that version of
crazy.
Bonk, I remember.
See, that's even crazier than the first game's crazy version. Got steam coming out of holes in his head.
Yeah.
Bonk's Adventure Inside Dinosaur. Try that.
Bonk's Adventure Inside Dinosaur. When did you guys experience Bonk?
I never got to play Bonk. My brother had the TurboGrafx Express, which was the handheld version of the TurboGrafx 16 console, and use the same cartridges. They do a little chip style cartridges.
Well, that GameCube. There's a GameCube one. Try that one.
Yeah, let's see the.
That's where he's about to go inside the dinosaur, but it's a very different style than the original game.
That looks like.
Is this real?
Yeah, wait, what?
Whoa!
Is it translated? So this must have been only.
They remade Bonk on the Wii. Oh, the GameCube, apparently, according to this.
Oh, I see. It's like 2.5D.
Yeah, it's weird.
Which I like 2.5D.
Now we're finding out there's like 12 Bonk games.
Yeah. Bonkcast?
Who'd ever thought about Bonk games?
Yeah, there's a Cubone.
That is a Cubone.
Right?
I don't know. It doesn't look like it's experienced the death of its mother.
Yes.
Like how bizarre is this? Yes.
So this has changed
Went right
the
past
graphic
that.
style. And not only that it's 2.5D, but like it's got a very different feel. I don't think this was very well regarded. There are a lot of weird remakes that came out on the GameCube and Wii that people are like, why'd you do that?
I think, is he the only mascot caveman?
No.
What?
There's another one.
Okay.
Third party. But yeah, there's another one. So do you know Hudson Soft?
Yep.
Who's the mascot for Hudson Soft?
Hudson Soft.
So
is it the island kid, the Adventure Island?
Master Higgins.
Master Higgins. That's
Master
right.
Higgins of Adventure Island.
So that's that was the one that I was thinking of. Dylan, go back and look up Super Adventure Island. No. Adventure Island 3.
So he's a caveman?
So that's the thing. I wasn't sure if he was is he an islander or is he a caveman?
I thought he was an islander. Just had like grass skirt on.
See, and that's something that I was.
It's a grass skirt. He's got a cap.
But he also rides dinosaurs.
Yes, that. I was thinking that too.
Yeah.
I think he is a caveman because all of his buddies are dinosaurs.
But he has a modern day cap and he's living on an island with.
Yeah, it's anachronistic because so Master Higgins.
This shows you haven't met too many.
The logo on it though.
This shows you haven't met enough people from Guam. People in Guam ride lizards all the time.
Those are dinosaur bones.
Yeah, they're dinosaur bones, and it would be post dinosaurs.
He throws a stone axe. See, that's the thing. I don't know entirely. Like at first, I thought maybe he was just an islander because that intro shows him on an island with his girlfriend.
Dressed as an islander with his islander girlfriend. Yeah,
but then he's in caves with dinosaurs throwing stone axes.
And why does he have a baseball cap?
Not in all of them. Not in all of them. I think this is an Adventure Island 3 thing where the eggs show up.
Yeah, the dinosaur
island.
He didn't have dinosaurs in the first one.
He did not. Yes,
no. He's on a different island
there to like get your different.
I propose this is a different island.
And then it's not.
So this is Dinosaur Island.
Yeah, he's in Dinosaur Island.
Oh, there's secrets in there. Look, there's dinosaurs everywhere.
That's just a Metroid reference right there.
Hold on, this is
like
very.
Oh,
wait a minute, this is very clearly a caveman.
Like the theming is very caveman. Right?
Interesting.
Nothing about him reads caveman to me. I can see what you guys might be saying about that reads caveman to me.
The guy in a cave on a dinosaur doesn't read caveman to you?
This was a great game, but this was an oddly hard game.
Yeah.
Like this is one of those games where there's rules.
They were leather and animal hide rather.
Yeah, but
like classically,
they always wear
animal hides.
That's a pterodactyl.
That is a grass skirt he is wearing.
He can ride a pterodactyl.
Joe and Mac wore grass skirts.
They wore skirts colored to their hair. Didn't they? I thought one had blue clothing and
Dylan,
blue hair.
You got to give it a goog.
If you go back to Joe and Mac, we got to check that out.
We got to give it a goog. Is Master Higgins
a caveman?
A caveman. You might have to use regular Google for this. Is Master because this is I was thinking this.
Yeah.
So I'm so glad you brought it up. It also is just a super fun game. Yes, a chubby stone axe chucking caveman in a baseball cap named Master Higgins.
No, that's from an editorial from 20th Century Gamer. You got to go to the actual
Wonder Boy. There you go. Look at him. He's a caveman.
He's a caveman. Yeah, hold on. Scroll down a little bit.
So yeah,
he's the guardian protector of the.
All right, right there. Primitive Man Takahashi is his actual name.
Okay, Primitive Man. So the reason he has a hat that's anachronistic, he was based on a real person who worked at Hudson Soft who kind of looked like him. And I think it's probably referenced if you
also
scroll
says
up.
He's based off of Honey anime.
Okay.
Scroll up a little bit and it says, oh yeah, Toshiyuki Takahashi. Look up that guy's face. It's funny to see his face because it's like, oh yeah, that's how they got the Master Higgins sprite. So he was.
Yep.
Yeah, look, he's got that like kind of like crooked smile, just like Master Higgins.
And he's wearing the ball cap. That's amazing.
Yeah. So he was based off that guy.
Eventually, yeah. Okay, I'll give you that one then. He's called Primitive Man Takahashi. So
you know what? We kind of just changed the game there of like, wow.
No, anything could be a caveman apparently.
Wow. I mean, if there's dinosaurs involved,
he's on a giant fossil. Like
it goes back to our Mario theory, though, is that if dinosaurs involved, we have to think: are we literally primitive? That's a Triceratops.
Yes, it's a Triceratops.
Super Mario World literally was a sequel to the Super Mario Brothers series, where he was not in prehistoric times.
And the whole idea is like they went to Dinosaur Land. It's a different place. They didn't go back in time.
Yeah. That's Mario in time. That's Mario in time. They went back in time. I don't know if they went to
Mario's
Dinosaur Time
Machine,
though.
Yeah.
Mario's Time Machine. Thank you.
So I'm going to start just listing off some other ones that you guys apparently.
Please do, because apparently I don't have any other ones.
I have other ones too, but you go first.
Chuck Rock.
Oh my God! I forgot about Chuck Rock.
Look up.
Oh, this is fun.
Chuck Rock.
This is fun. Chuck Rock. I remember Chuck Rock. They had to play on Nick Arcade a bunch of times. Chuck Rock. You're right, dude. Oh, it's a Sega game.
Yeah, so it's a caveman.
Yeah, I've never
fighting
seen this
dinosaurs.
Before. Wait, actually, maybe I saw it in Nick Arcade, but I don't remember it ever. This sprite looks alien to me. I don't remember.
Oh yeah, he's like one of the ugliest game characters ever.
And it's Sega, huh?
Yeah, it was.
I forgot about this. You're right. Chuck Rock.
But look there's a lot of similarities to the other games we've seen. Like it's this tropical jungle setting.
Same outfit as Master Higgins.
Same outfit as Master Higgins without the stylish baseball cap. This is like Master Higgins 40 years in the future.
Yeah. After something went horribly, horribly wrong in his life. Oh, that's right. Chuck Rock. So I know nothing. I remember the title.
Yeah, he does his belly
bounce. Okay.
So I didn't play this one either, so I don't have a ton to say about it, but I can jump right into another one.
Yeah.
Congos Caper.
This I've never heard of.
Congos Caper, Congo with a C. Caper, maybe with a K.
In your mind for...
Yeah, I got a lot of these.
You've never mentioned any of these caveman games.
Oh, it's like a little monkey man.
Yeah, it's like a monkey man. So he's supposed to be kind of like a missing link sort of character.
He is?
Yes. Like he's not quite evolved.
I always tend to think of like Sun Wukong when I see anything like this, because most of the things with like tails that are half beast are kind of based on him.
Yes. Yeah, he's specifically supposed to be like an early pre-human.
What's this on? What system?
I believe it was on all the 16. It was Genesis and Super Nintendo.
Oh, wow.
Super Nintendo.
Look, there's a dinosaur, and
exact same way as Joe and Mac.
Same. Like I said, it's the T-Rex who's filled the screen coming from the left side.
Enemies from the right side to distract you. They just copy this boss fight from Joe and Mac.
Chris, you have uncovered a massive conspiracy from the 90s where everyone just made the same game reskinned over and over and over.
They did.
I gotta say, it's impressive, but that's exactly it. He's spitting out cavemen just like in Joe and Mac.
Yeah.
Who made this?
I don't know who made this one. It was a smaller developer.
Probably at the beginning of the game.
Are they the ones that made all the knockoff?
Data East.
Wait, it's Data East. Data East made Joe and Mac. They ripped themselves off.
They were like, what? The rabbit hole is shallow but wide.
Can we, Dylan, do you mind Googling Congos Caper and Joe and Mac? What the hell? That is so interesting.
Wow.
I thought for sure it would be a different company. Well, now we...
Is it plagiarism if it's your own work? I mean, technically, yes, because a different developer probably made it, but...
What?
Congos Caper is technically the second game.
What does that mean?
So I think they're saying it's
are they related?
In the same series.
In Japan, the games are the Caveman Combat series. Joe and Mac Caveman Combat. And then, I guess whatever the second one was, whatever
Congos Caper part of this?
That's what that person saying on Reddit.
Can I see
4 years
that Reddit
ago.
link, please?
Yeah, the first one. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Good. Confusingly called Joe and Mac 3.
Go down. Keep going. I'm looking for the word Congo.
Oh, that's as far as it goes, I think.
Oh.
Might be under the replies of that first one, but yeah, I definitely saw them mention.
Oh, 2 more replies right there under Blade Runner.
Down, yeah. Okay, there you go.
Congos Caper is technically the second game.
Adventures of Rookie. And then protagonists are Joe and Mac again.
We did it!
Is that the title?
Caveman Combat 3, the protagonists are Joe and Mac again? Like, is that really the title? Because that's amazing.
That's what I definitely can imagine it. That's a great title.
So Caveman Combat is the name of the series that all 3 of these games are a part of.
Okay.
And then here
and
they
the
changed
Adventures of Rookie.
Ninja.
So Congo is like Lil Joe or Little Mac.
Little Mac. Yeah. But he's different. He has magenta hair instead of green or blue.
Can we buy all 3 on an officially licensed multi-cart for $15, please? I just want to see where that link goes.
They confusingly called Joe Mac 3 in PAL regions.
It's
okay.
The blue
up,
text. Just up. There.
Yeah, click that.
Oh, wow. They really do sell it on the Super Nintendo cartridge.
What
$30
is happening? Are they all reskinned? Like, look at the cover.
I think
that's
that's
some images.
It's the 3 games. They put them on.
Yeah,
one
I think they just made those drawings for this.
Yeah.
Be like, it vaguely reminds you of. It doesn't look like Joe and Mac very much.
Holy moly! And then there's the Switch version.
They look like Rayman actually on that picture.
Yeah.
Okay, that just blew my mind. This whole episode was worth it for that alone because I played so much Joe and Mac not knowing there was something between Joe and Mac 2.
Yeah.
Involving a totally other character.
So you said you had another Caveman game on the mind. I want to hear what this other one is.
I do. And it's a game I played quite a bit on the regular Nintendo. And it's also the first introduction to Caveman in any sort of media. The Flintstones.
Oh, yeah.
The Flintstones for NES.
Flintstones, yeah.
I didn't know there was
the
an
rescue
NES
of
game.
Dino and Hoppy.
Yeah, right there. I played this. How did you nailed that?
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember this game. I remember this game being a lot of fun. There were power-ups and things. There was a part, it's actually this part, which is so funny, where it gets really hard. But it's a very well-made game.
Oh,
And
yeah,
you
there's
could
different-
hang and
cliffs.
yeah, there's stuff in this game that I don't
My friends can't
remember.
handle a mantle a cliff.
What do you mean? All he's
This
got to do
game,
is eat an entire brontosaurus rib and then he's fine. But when we were talking earlier, I was like, well, wait a minute. The Flintstones literally started all of this.
Yeah.
They're, 1950s animation, right?
So the
Maybe
Honeymooners
even
started
earlier.
all of the Cavemen.
The Honeymooners started the Caveman. That's right. What's the story of the Flintstones? The Flintstones play during the Honeymooners or it's based on the Honeymooners?
Yeah,
It's
it's
based
a
on the
play on the
Honeymooners.
Honeymooners. Yeah.
And went way, way longer. I just found this out. The Honeymooners was only 1 season.
Oh, wow.
1 season of television, all this lasting.
You see so many references to it. It's
There you go.
Yeah.
I distinctly remember Great Gazoo popping in and giving
See,
you
I never got to
power-ups.
play this game, and it looks awesome.
It is fun. And the NES, this is one of those games where the limited version of the NES, I think, is more fun
Mhm.
than the Super Nintendo Flintstones game that would come out later. And it was just clever.
I think that one was based on the movie was the problem, too. The
Ah.
Super
The
Nintendo one.
John Goodman movie?
Yeah.
Dylan, could we see
SNES Flintstones?
SNES?
I think.
But what I love about the 8-bit one, that's pretty accurate for like.
Yeah, it looked really good. It looked like the Hanna-Barbera cartoons in 8-bit form.
Oh,
Yeah.
my
Look at
God.
this.
Well,
That's John Goodman.
He's saying, yeah,
Yabba Dabba Doo.
they put a lot of frames into that
Amblin
animation.
Entertainment.
Steven Spielberg
Okay, yeah.
made that movie?
Whoa, Amblin Entertainment made the movie.
Oh, dear
Is that
God.
Bam Bam?
Yeah, that's.
Oh, this is gross.
This is super gross.
This is crazy. I'm disgusted.
They playing.
They
pinball
digitized
with
John
Bam Bam.
Goodman.
Was it like an auto runner? You have to control them.
This is what happens
Wow.
when you make a live action version of a cartoon.
Oh my God.
This is the hell that you wrought.
Good God. This is scary.
Look at his face. Even the icon of his face at the bottom is just
Looks like.
And that is classic
Jason.
slowdown. Oh, and you got to save Pebbles?
Oh, that's too. See, this reminds me of the Peter Puppy stages in Earthworm Jim.
Say that. Yeah, it does. Except without the awesome soundtrack.
Yes, they were. What? So they just like I auto run and you're controlling Fred at the bottom, I guess.
Can you scroll ahead, Dylan? I'm looking to see if they show Betty at all because Betty was Rosie O'Donnell in the movie. Or are you just Fred the whole time? Probably just you go bowling.
Killing
His head
monkeys.
didn't move. He just bowled that bowling ball.
This is amazing. This is amazing.
I I never saw this game before, and I remember reading about Nintendo Power back in the day, and I was like, well, this Nintendo Power did not rate it very high, so I never played it.
That's not a face; it's a coconut, I think.
That is a coconut. No, it's a bowling ball.
Well,
That's
what
what it is,
made
like
out of a
power
coconut.
moves.
Oh no, made out of a stone. Okay.
Dylan, if you go back to YouTube, there was actually a just hit the back button there. There's actually the one I'm thinking of, which is the Flintstones: The Treasure of Sierra Mad Rock, which is a Taito game.
So
but this is based on the actual cartoon.
So there were two,
and it's balls of fun, apparently.
There were 2 Flintstones games on the Super Nintendo.
There were.
It's amazing.
Wow.
Yeah, and this one was based more on the regular style.
Because I'm pretty sure at this point, there were no new cartoons coming out.
Oh, God, no.
For a long time.
Wait
a minute.
You mean Flintstones cartoon?
Yeah, Flintstones.
Well, I got invigorated by the Fruity Pebbles and Cocoa Pebbles commercials that had run the whole time. Like,
well, that and
60s,
Hanna-Barbera
70s.
relaunched everything as kid versions.
That's right. There was the
This is
Flintstones
just Mario
Kids.
Kart. The Mode 7 did.
That is Mario Kart. What are we doing? Just running?
Yeah.
Yeah, running in the snow. Just running.
I think they learned the double jump after this. They have to do this stage to learn the double jump.
Why? Just give me the double jump. This is bananas. This is just Barney running. This is an endless runner.
Yeah, you're not running against anyone. It's just like watch Barney do a time trial.
Final lap.
Let's see anything near like the end of the game, Dylan, where we're back to the side scroll. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, so that
he's got the hover.
But this is very reticent of
this is the cartoon
like an upgrade, but it's like an upgrade to the NES one.
The Fruity Pebbles version of Flintstone. Like the color's even the same. His stubble is more pronounced.
You know, the Flintstones were.
You see Barney Rubble in a rap outfit.
And I'm here to say, I love Fruity Pebbles
in a major way.
Wow, you just brought me back. Fruity Pebbles rap. That's amazing. So Flintstones is the one that I was thinking at the beginning of the show.
It's a good one, and there's apparently a mine of a lot of games, at least 4 games that we just uncovered.
Absolutely,
there's 2 in the NES, 2 in the Super NES.
4 more than I knew about.
Yeah. But there's more.
Yeah, so there's a Caveman game that I always think about, and Chris found it a couple months ago. He had it on Wall of Vision at the shop. But I just remember I was playing it. You play it as like a caveman type dude, and there's a power up where you get a football helmet, and then he just like run into things with his head and bash them apart. But his main attack is like he spits a wad of phlegm.
Do you know what it's called?
Or it's puff of air, maybe. No, and
so I think you're thinking of Toki.
Yeah, Toki. Okay, I'm thinking of Toki.
T-O-K-I, Toki. Yeah. Which there was a remake that came out recently. They remade it. Yeah, Toki. So the NES Toki, one. Look at this.
I always played the arcade one. Oh, so he's a monkey. Okay.
Yeah, so he's a monkey. The thing is, he was transformed into a monkey. He's a man who was transformed into a monkey.
Okay.
So this one,
this is the best episode ever. I'm so happy about.
Yeah. I always played the arcade version of this, which is this gameplay but with better graphics and a background.
Yes.
You know what? We're putting this in the shorts. Do you guys want Tubby Talk just to be about caveman games going forward?
We can. There's a lot
do a whole
to mine.
month of caveman games.
Well, I know what is crazy about this, so I'm not sure. I want to go into the lore of Toki because I'm like, is this technically a caveman? I know it was a man who was turned into a monkey, and he fights lots of like tropical things.
If Master Higgins is a caveman, then he's a caveman. Like I don't think he's modern man transformed into a monkey.
What if he is?
Judging by the rest of what he's fighting, though, it looks like that's also like.
So where does this come from? What is this? Where does it even come from?
It's an arcade game.
It's like a one-off arcade game. Look up the Toki arcade.
And I just remember playing it a lot at the one store around the corner from me that had 2 games at any given time. And one of them was always a Street Fighter game, and the other one rotated. It was often this.
There he is with the helmet.
Real quick, Dylan, can you go back to the beginning? Like the title screen there. I just want to look at something. Tad. Oh, okay. I thought it was Taito. Because I was like, this is like...
Sounds like a shell company.
This also kind of seems like everyone was trying to get a caveman mascot for some reason.
Yeah.
Things traveled a labyrinth of caves and escaped the jaws at the gates of the Morinar. Took sets out across the shark-infested waters of Lake Neptune, but beware of the eyes of... Rambacha.
So it is a caveman because it showed in the beginning the cave woman is snatched. So it's a caveman who's turned into a monkey and then can spit. I don't know why he spits, but his main attack is spitting. Look at this. It's insane.
It's one of those games I played like one intense session of and then never saw again.
Well, maybe it does go back to Donkey Kong. Maybe it's about like, okay, there was a success with this thing that can climb. You know, specifically, I'm thinking Donkey Kong Jr. and the vines. You know, maybe it's just we need something that can swing and move and is strong. Like, was Caveman games just what they were looking for up until Donkey Kong Country reset everything?
Maybe, I'm thinking the only thing I could think of is that everything in this jungle setting has a lush, colorful, really show off your 16-bit graphics sort of aesthetic, right?
Good point.
And I think they're like, oh, there's tons of blue and green and brown and red and yellow, and like we want to see it all. And I think just something about those colors in this setting, it made people want to make games.
It was hot. Cavemen were hot. I mean, I remember even like, it was like CBS or it couldn't have been Kids WB. I think it was before that. They had a show called Crow, CRO, and it was about like
it's like Cro-Magnon.
Yeah, that is what it is. KRO. Excuse me, CRO. He wrote in KRO. CRO cartoon.
Also,
Yeah, cartoon intro. All you need is cartoon intro. Perfect. So I distinctly remember this. Like there was so the idea is crazy. There were cavemen. I wonder if there was a game based on this. There might have been. But this big elephant would like teach this guy, a woolly mammoth, not an elephant, and he gets frozen in time and then gets thawed out in the future, and then he explains to kids everything Crow was doing back in the day and how that guy.
It's an Encino Man story. Oh no, it's just the mammoth. He's talking about his friend Crow.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
And he's like, these are the life lessons. So like the kids in the future will learn something. He'll be like, well, I remember back when. And for some reason, he always sang, feelings, nothing more than feelings.
Wow, I never heard of this.
I distinctly remember this.
A very high concept for a cartoon.
I wonder if this came on if it aired opposite another show that I watched and would never turn away from. Because this seems like a CBS maybe cartoon, and I didn't watch CBS Saturday morning cartoons.
Yeah. But I distinctly remember it. Caveman, go.
So you were just talking. You mentioned a movie called Encino Man. Yeah. Look up Encino Man SNES.
Oh
wow.
Uh-huh. Encino Man.
I had SNES.
Oh wait, no. Wow, maybe there wasn't an SNES. Maybe I made that up.
You had a fever dream where there's Encino Man video game. Yeah, I guess type Encino Man video game and see what comes up.
Okay.
SNS, maybe something else.
Yeah, maybe I messed up. Oh well.
Get rid of SNES.
Yeah.
Oh, I think you got caught.
Yeah, I got caught.
Wait, what's that? What's that? Rad Mobile 1992? Well, that's just Rad Mobile. That's featured in Encino Man.
Oh, okay.
Radmobile, I guess.
So here's another one. Look up BC Kid.
This I think I have heard of.
Yeah, it's another.
This sounds like a Saturday morning cartoon as well.
BC Kid.
Oh, so BC Kid is Bonk.
What?
Was the name of Bonk? He had different games under different names.
Oh, I've definitely played this one. This is the Amiga one.
Yeah. So he had different names on different platforms that were different games. They didn't just port these games. They took a lot of the concepts, but they still redrew the sprites and made whole new games.
Bonk is a wonderful character.
He's climbing up the water.
And I really enjoy the Bonk games. Like the Bonk was like, I definitely was emulator heavy on Bonk because it was just like a very unique type of playthrough in that it's almost like, it's one of those games very much akin to like Wario Land 3, where you don't necessarily always receive damage if an enemy does something to you. It changes your power up or something like that.
Changes the state of your body.
Yeah. I mean, he still has a health meter as we see above, but it's very much like, I love a game with like tons of power ups, and I think Bonk was one of those games.
So here's another one, unrelated to Bonk. Prehistorik, with a K, Prehistorik Man.
This one I remember.
Yeah.
I remember that it existed.
I think I remember seeing that logo before.
Does he have a surfboard or a skateboard? Oh no, this isn't what I'm thinking of.
There's another one in your brain.
Well, there's another one. Well, it's not Caveman. It's a dinosaur where you play as like a dinosaur on a skateboard.
Okay.
Probably called Skateboard Dinosaur, but.
So this is yet another 16-bit caveman game, completely unrelated to the other ones. But he's fighting, I guess, bears?
What were they doing? What was going through everyone's mind?
And I love how he runs. Actually, that run cycle is great.
Yeah, this animation is really cool. It reminds you of Cool Spot, though, a bit.
A little bit of that Cool Spot, yeah.
God. So it's funny. What was the one we were looking at that started with a T where he turns to a monkey?
Toki.
That reminded me of Tonga. And I think Tonga is also a caveman. You look up Tonga PlayStation. Do you know this game? Got wild pink hair.
No, Tomba. Tomba.
Tomba.
Oh yeah,
He is
There he is.
caveman. Here we go.
Yeah.
Moving into the next generation, we got another caveman series.
Oh, that's the name
Were
of the
you
channel.
thinking of this?
I
you come
had because I
preloaded
was
with
sticking
this?
16-bit, but now we're moving 32. There's more.
Well,
There's
yeah,
more.
it is 32-bit. Yeah, that's right. I remember this game because it was like the PlayStation. It was a PlayStation shot at, I think, a mascot. It was one of their first heavily advertised games and whatnot. And it was about that you could just be this wild caveman fighting pigs, I think.
Yeah, he ate pigs. Like, I think he just really wanted to eat pigs.
Yeah.
Oh, the way has a fortune teller returned yet?
Well,
Never know, 'cause he left.
forgot about this one. So you were thinking just 8-bit, 16-bit. This is 32-bit. Are there any other 32-bit ones?
Yeah, there's more.
Ooh.
Oh, Overworld. It's almost like Final Fantasy VII going around there.
And I think they made a Tomba too.
Yes. The Tomba series. See, that's the funny thing. A lot of these had series.
Right.
It wasn't just one-offs.
They came and went.
Yeah.
Why are they making all these video games about one-off bespoke cavemen? except for the Bonk and BC Kids series, which are one and the same.
Now I want to make a Smash Brothers game that's only various caveman properties fighting each other.
Bash Brothers or Club Brothers or Joe Mac 4. We're all here.
You have Conseco and the other guy, Mark McGuire.
Oh, yeah. The
As
Bash Bros.
cavemen. Yeah.
Barry Bonds. Right.
Do you have any others?
No, it was
Jose Canseco.
yeah,
and
because Conseco and Mark McGuire were the Bash Bros.
Yeah.
You got any other ones?
Oh God, I got to think a little bit.
Because eventually I just want to type in caveman video games.
Let's
do it now.
Just pull up the list. All right, yeah, we'll do it. Because I know I missed some.
Over the you on N64?
64.
This will inspire.
The N64 didn't have quite as many games.
Caveman games. There's just something called NES
Oh,
for NES.
yeah,
Oh yeah,
NES.
it was like a sports mini game thing.
Hey, Prehistorik Man had 2 games.
I do remember this.
Data East. It's Joe
Yeah.
and Mac again.
Published by Electronic Arts.
So maybe Data East just
Oh no, developed
loved
by Electronic
cavemen.
Arts.
Maybe it is.
Published by Data East.
Clubbing. Awesome.
So this is like some sort of Olympic style like events game.
Yeah, but okay. All right, let's see what we got here. Okay.
Oh wow.
Oh, this does remind me of. Oh, that's actually better animation than I was
Pole vault.
expecting. This is a pole vault. And you probably just got to tap the button.
What?
That is a bonk-shaped dinosaur, by the way.
Yes, it is. Oh, he lands on the rocks? No, he lands on the ground next to the rocks.
This is caveman games. That wasn't invented yet.
Oh, Gronk's pretty happy about his performance.
Yeah, good job. All right, what else do we have? So, did anybody? I don't remember that game at all.
But caveman games?
Yeah.
I remember that it was a game. I never played it, but I just remember a caveman sports game was pretty interesting for the time, so it definitely stuck my craw.
Let's go in normal Google and just see list of caveman video games.
Deal. This is fun.
Yeah. Because, I mean, already I hope you guys see, like, there's more than you thought.
Yeah.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Trog.
All right. So BC2 Grog's Revenge is a bonk game, you're saying?
BC Bill.
So it's interesting. These BC games, a lot of them are based on the comic strip of the same name.
The daily newspaper
The
comic
daily
strip?
newspaper comic strip BC. There were early video games about
What's
it.
Trog?
Oh, yeah, Trog was another one.
Midway.
1990.
Trog.
Yeah.
Mm.
So Trog is a one-eyed caveman.
Oh, what the heck?
And it's this weird, like, puzzle game.
Is this like Neo Geo?
Like a
Or?
4-player puzzle game.
So this is arcade.
Okay.
But they poured it to a variety of things. Very different than the other ones. Not a side scroller in a tropical setting,
Mm-hmm.
but still
Oh, I
a
see.
caveman.
You're the red thing. You're avoiding the caveman.
Yes,
Oh.
and you shoot fire, and that. But he still punches you. He doesn't eat you. Oh my God, he eats you with a knife and fork.
Wow.
Yeah, and I also like that this is a distinct difference. Well, right now we're going into a distinct difference. This is you're playing as a dinosaur, which has its very own lane of tons of games where you play as a dinosaur, as opposed to as a caveman.
Right.
My God.
Wow.
We got to start up Data West just to remake a bunch of these caveman games.
All right,
let's go back to the list.
Let's see the list, see what else there's. That's right, because there are a lot.
All right. Second
Dimes.
Samurai.
Ugh.
Crack.
Big Nose Freaks Out. 1992. Oh,
Big Nose.
Oh, so Gone is interesting. Gone.
Big Nose the Caveman. I do remember that. That was one of those titles. That was one of the games that was on the gold cartridges. You remember the other company that made
Tengen?
It's a Tengen game.
The non-licensed Nintendo games?
Yep. Big Nose the Caveman.
Codemasters.
There you go.
I absolutely remember this.
It doesn't look that bad. It is pretty fun. Oh, that's terrible sprite there. Well done, Big Nose.
I remember Big Nose. Oh my goodness.
Paradise Island.
Well,
That's
this
weird.
is there a Captain Caveman game?
If there's a game, I didn't know about it. I love Captain Caveman, but I don't know if there's a game based on him.
Captain Caveman.
No, they
There's
just
a mutant.
Versus
Captain Caveman versus all the Ryus.
The only Ultimate Ryu is left. Okay.
Captain Caveman X.
And he's got his little buddy. I don't remember what the little buddy's name was.
So very obviously hand drawn by a fan here. I love the dedication.
I can't believe.
Captain Caveman's actually a really neat character design.
Yeah. There it is. Man. This is hyper nostalgic.
Wow.
I just can't believe there were so many caveman things. Let's go back to the list.
Yeah, the list. There were a couple other.
There is a shocking amount on this list.
So
Tale of the Sun. I didn't realize
Tale of the
that
Sun's
was...
another one. Tale of the Sun's a PlayStation game. If you look that up, it is a similar. I think it was a proto-human with a tail sort of thing.
What is that?
Episode 1. Oh no, it looks like he doesn't have a tail. Oh no, but why is it called Tale of the Sun?
Whoa.
So this is probably before Super Mario 64, if I had to guess.
That is what it looks like. This could be some sort of tank controls or something like that.
Oh,
It looks terrible.
Yeah, it doesn't.
I would not want to play this.
Doesn't look. Oh, he jumps at a weird angle according to what you're
This
standing
is
on.
awful.
Wow. This is a student game or something?
No, this is a released retail game on the PlayStation 1.
Has Nintendo ever made, like Nintendo themselves, do they have any caveman characters?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
Not unless you count the Funimation ones. So another one that I see on this list, if we go down a little bit, I'm sorry, back up.
Evo. I remember EVO.
Yeah, that one I would say doesn't necessarily count, but Evo's really neat.
Yeah.
That's a good one to pull. Do you get on the? You do. You get to the land at some point
I think so.
in evolution.
Let's just search for Eden.
Yeah.
So I guess, do we think is caveman games over? Like, do we think there will be more caveman games? Are there any more to make?
I was going to say there was a game that came out in 2021, but that's Jurassic World Evolution 2, so I don't know why that's listed.
See, the thing is,
Primal.
there was nostalgia for these games enough that a lot of them got remade with new graphics recently, within the past 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
Like, who wants to play like a remade Toki? Apparently enough people to finance that. So maybe there'll be another revolution of the caveman as an aesthetic. It's hard to imagine, though.
So is Turok the dinosaur hunter a caveman?
No. He's a
It's like
modern human.
Modern or future?
Modern.
Modern.
Yeah. He's a Native American,
That's right.
and he's thrust into another dimension, I believe, that happens to have dinosaurs that were genetically engineered by the Primogen. The Primogen is the big bad.
incredible.
In that.
I just remember that game had some of the most fun guns ever. It had this big blue laser gun that like charged up, and when you shot it, the whole screen just went white.
Wow.
Yeah.
I wish
And,
I
like, you
played
didn't see
Turok
anything.
at any time.
Yeah. Look up Turok Primogen. I just want to see it.
I have a funny story about Turok too.
Sure.
The Turok that was on N64.
Yep.
Because
Launch title, right?
I think it was. So I won a contest
Shortly after launch.
Yeah, it was a launch title with the
It's a
expansion pack.
TUROK.
Or it came with the expansion pack. Maybe it's Turok 2. But I won it from a radio station calling contest. And the grand prize was an N64. Of course, I didn't win the N64, so I just had the cartridge with the expansion cart for like a while. And then I eventually, Chris got an N64, so I gave it to him. And I was like, here, you can have Turok so you can play it.
Yeah, I have Turok 2 from that.
Turok 2, yeah.
That was... So I played a lot of that game. It's hard, though. And it's also... It was one of those games where you could get lost.
Yeah.
And if you didn't have a guide or something, you're just like, where am I going?
Remember, it was like it's also just an odd title. Like Turok itself
is based
is
on a
a
comic book or graphic. Yeah.
Yeah. And people have thought of making Turok movies, Turok video games. Like they remade the Turok game and nobody wanted it. It's just a very weird thing that exists. I can't believe it ever came up for N64. Like what an odd licensed title.
I just remember it's looking cool, though. It's called Turok Dinosaur Hunter.
Yeah.
And it was optional, I think, for the expansion pack. So if you didn't have it, I think it looks worse. And if you put it in, you get like better textures or something.
For Turok 2, yes.
For Turok 2, yeah.
I'm sorry, who was the person you wanted to see?
Look, he was. If you go to the end, you fight the Primogen.
Right there, it was Final Confrontation.
It's all red. That characteristic N64 fog, but red this time.
Until we run into a boss.
Yeah, so you go.
Oh, that's the gun I was talking about.
And this is Turok 1.
All the guns on the way in.
Wow, you really can't see. Yeah, anything.
I guess that's what it was. You put an expansion pack and you got less fog.
No, I think this is on purpose only in this last level. The fog was not that bad on the game in general. Like, you could see things. This is just like, oh, you're in the creepy last. Look at these bodies that are hanging. It's creepy.
This is alien. Okay.
It just says boss.
What is it?
It's stone.
Yep, there's the laser.
Yeah, there's the gun.
Looks like you win. Oh!
So this is not a caveman game?
Not a caveman. He's from the modern, and also he's using modern weaponry.
Good point.
I mean, that doesn't mean he couldn't be a caveman and some people came from the future or aliens give him technology.
I'm pretty sure the lore is not.
Are there any stories like that at all?
Stories?
The cavemen getting technology from aliens in order to fight.
Fred Flintstone, Great Gazoo. This is like a future alien, right? Hello, dum-dum.
I always thought of him as like a fifth dimensional imp or something.
I don't know.
Yeah, similar to Mr. Mixelpiddick or
Mixelpiddick.
Yeah.
So did you play the Turok games?
I did play the Turok games. I played this one.
Yeah.
Like I remember this one very well. I didn't play Turok 2.
Turok 2 was great, but hard. But it also had some of the greatest weapons in that game.
Mm-hmm.
Like, does the term cerebral bore ring any bells for you?
Yeah, it does for me.
Cerebral bore.
So it was a cerebral bore.
Can you type that in, Dylan?
Cerebral. B-O-R-E, bore.
Yeah, you guys just see the animation. That's kind of, yeah. Yeah, there you go.
That was amazing that just auto-corrected it.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, what else would you be searching for?
Oh, cool. So this is
all about the weapon.
Yeah. So cerebral. So it's a skull.
So it launches this thing.
Yeah.
And it burrows its way into the enemy's skull, blasting out their brains and exploding their heads.
This is on Nintendo 64?
Yep, Nintendo 64.
My word.
So yeah, this was like, oh yeah, we can do mature things now. So they went grimdark. The thing's running away from you, sort of. But yeah, now it was just this animation on all of them. It just kind of sucked out their brains and exploded them.
Jeez Louise, that is gross.
I remember reading about this, and I was like, that was like a really gross weapon.
Yeah.
I mean, speaking of non-caveman games with dinosaurs, we just had one up on Wallovision at the shop recently, Cadillacs and Dinosaurs, which is based on a comic series. And yeah, it's set in the future, 400 years in the future from 1992 or whatever.
Yeah.
But
just go down, Dylan. It says arcade.
Man, he brought back dinosaurs, but also like the world flooded because ice caps are melting. So the first stage is in the background. There's skyscrapers in Manhattan that are half covered in water.
Yeah.
You see like the top of the Chrysler building. And then you also have Cadillacs that you drive around somehow. They're all tricked out.
But look how cool this is. You're driving a car that's like a third of the screen.
That's funny. I'm trying to think if there were like primitive. Yeah, that is pretty funny. If there's like fighting games where one of the characters is a caveman.
Is it Killer Instinct? Is one of them? One of the characters a caveman?
None of them is a cave. Well,
there's Chief Thunder.
In 2, there were.
There was. You're right. In Killer Instinct 2,
Killer Instinct.
He had blonde hair.
Yeah.
Can I see that, D?
Look up Killer Instinct 2 characters.
And he was only in that game. I don't think he was even in Killer Instinct Gold. Remember Killer Instinct Gold?
Yeah. It was like not Killer Instinct 2.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, during their latest Nintendo Direct, they started playing the Killer Instinct music to announce that Rare was releasing some games on the Nintendo Online.
There he is.
But
there's one of them, Maya.
Just hearing the music, I was just like, I was brought back to my childhood. Yeah. He fought for a long time, and they got killed off screen. But yeah, I'm pretty sure Maya's backstory is that she's a cave woman.
But then there was also the guy, his name like Core or something. You know what
There's
I mean.
A male character too. And it's probably, like Maya's brother or something like that.
And the rest.
Let me see. And then there was in RPGs, there's
Ayla from Chrono Trigger.
Yeah.
Good pull.
No, that whole section in Chrono Trigger is fantastic.
AYLA Chrono CHRONO. Yep, that works. Good call.
I definitely remember. Yeah, because you go back in
that top.
It's like 30,000 BC or something like that.
It's like 65 million BC.
65 million BC.
Yeah. So those are the reptites.
Are you pulling that? They are the reptites. And you go to this area twice, right? Because in one point you fight one dino, but at the end you fight like the black dinosaur.
Yeah.
What is it called? It might be called Black Dino.
Tyranitar? No.
Yeah, it's like Tyranitar, something like that. But the cool thing about the story in this is, so there's the early humans and the reptites are fighting for who is going to inherit the Earth, essentially. So you help the humans win, the good ending. Well, Isla's people win, the humans evolve. But you can't, there's an ending to Chrono Trigger where the reptites win.
Really?
And you start the game as a reptite, as in Chrono is a reptite now, and you go through a section of the game as a reptite. It's like, oh, the reptites won. So now
I do remember getting that ending. I got an ending before.
Look up reptite ending Chrono Trigger.
Yeah, I remember
this is hilarious.
Chrono Trigger was amazing because it had like 16 endings.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, all the like animated cutscenes are from the PS1
remake. There we go. Wake up. So in the credits, it's just restarts.
So it goes into the credits, and then look, it's your mom's a reptite.
Oh my god!
Still got a pet cat though.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah, I got this ending once, and I was like, "Oh man, I gotta go back and fix this." The reptite one.
Yeah, it's so Chrono Trigger. It's the best. I could do a whole episode just about how cool Chrono Trigger is.
The fact that cavemen are in Chrono Trigger.
Well, yeah, because
proves this work.
Not to spoil it for anybody who hasn't played this 30-year-old game yet, but yeah, there's like a robot you meet in the future, and I believe you have to recharge him or something like that. So you take him back to 65 million years BC, put him outside, and he recharges when you go back to a future time, and he's like better now or whole now.
So the thing
right? Or did I?
No, that's not quite right. So there's a forest that's been deforested in.
He helps reforest.
Yeah, and so they're like, oh, Robo's like, leave me here, and I'll farm the land and make it verdant again.
That's right.
And so you just leave him, but then you go to the future, and he's kind of shut down because he's been working for 1,000 years. And you're like, hey, buddy, wake up. And you turn him on. He's like, okay, I'm fine. And he goes back to your party, and the forest is there. But then you can go back in time, and Robo's still in the fields. Like there's the older Robo still there working the field.
Wow.
So cool.
Oh, nice. I just made up the whole plot contrivance that didn't even happen then. It should have. I feel like my idea would have worked in this game.
The sheer volume of caveman content out there, I'm surprised. Like this was eye-opening.
Yeah. I'm glad I could take us on this little journey.
It's like we just discovered fire.
Thank you for elucidating us about these prehistoric humans and their incongruous dinosaur shenanigans.
You're welcome. Yeah, I'd love to see some cavemen surfing at some point. Yeah.
That has to exist.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
I'm sure
definitely a
caveman
game.
surfing is like a game in an arcade.
Yeah. Caveman.
I'm curious. Do you think there's a caveman? Get the hell out of here. Conker's Bad Fur Day. There is. That's right. There are cavemen.
Oh.
Because you have to fight a caveman atop a dinosaur.
Surfing in lava, it looks like.
Well, no, this is like a part, but eventually you end up in like this Coliseum where you fight a caveman. And I forgot I was thinking of that. But yeah, Conker's Bad Fur Day. There is definitely caveman scenes.
Nice.
So it's a trope. I think ultimately it's a trope, and it's in way more things than anyone could have imagined. See, he's landing in the fight scene. Perfect. And this is actually the
Xbox
remake. Yeah.
You can tell because he looks too furry.
A little too furry. But let's see. Yep, there's a bunch of cavemen in here, and I remember this for terrible reasons because ultimately the point of this fight is to bite a caveman beneath the loincloth until he dies.
That sounds like Conker's Bad Fur Day.
That does. There he is.
Oh, yeah. You know, he looks a lot like Chuck Rock.
Yeah. Is Chuck Rock a Rare game?
No.
No, I think it was Sega.
I was published by Sega. I guess it could have been made by Rare, but I don't know if they're making games.
So this was all in the original N64 as well.
It was,
It's definitely Chuck Rock.
There's a lot of breadth in that game.
I'm just amazed with everything that happened. Yeah, send in Fangy. And then he convinces the dinosaur to team up against him. But it's a great Coliseum scene. Anywho, there's a shocking amount of cavemen in video games, apparently.
Besides Chris.
This was a excellent decision on a thing. And I'm going to go on record. I'll bet there's more caveman games than any other archetype game.
There might
after
be.
having done that.
There might be.
The only exception is probably mascot
There's
games.
a lot of ninja games.
There are.
Ooh.
There's a lot of ninja games.
Now we know what we're doing next week.
Yeah, try to pull them all up, and there's probably 50 plus. Yeah.
Well, actually, if you condense all the series related games together, maybe there aren't more ninja games than caveman games.
Oh, we got to do this.
Yeah.
Caveman versus Ninja on the next episode of Tubby Talk. We'll be in a new studio. This is the last time we'll be here. Thank you, everybody, for watching so much, and we'll see you next time.
YUNKJunk!